So let's get into it. Today's a testosterone fueled.
No girls for the first time in a while.
Yeah, it's like the core of Riven essence. But this is episode 11, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 11. 11 straight weeks. That's pretty impressive.
I'm actually excited for Ryan to be here.
Yeah, we're super excited. We've got our homie Ryan Alspach. You say it Alspach or Alspach?
Alspach, yeah.
Alspach? Okay.
Alspach.
I should know by now.
You should love a name like Alspach. You're such a freaking comic book dork.
Dude, I am.
When it's Comic-Con, this dude,
I know.
he's the
it's all crazy.
geekiest, like Star Wars and...
I hate Star Trek, though.
Oh, you do
so
hate Star
Spock's
Trek?
out,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my
Well, at least you hate Star Trek.
I'm a very specific nerd.
You just moved up a little bit in the non-nerd category.
Yeah. So Ryan is our buddy. He's the owner of Warrior Fuel. Why don't you tell us about yourself, Ryan?
I started Warrior Fuel supplements back. We started selling in March of 14.
How do you guys know each other? You guys have known each other for years,
I've
right?
known him
Yeah.
for a long
Yeah.
time. He's trained MMA for years and years, and so did you train at LA Boxing when I was there too?
So I started LA, and then when everybody went over to, what was it called?
Throwdown
Yeah.
Elite Training Center. I mean, I tried to actually be partners and just expand LA Boxing, but the owner of LA Boxing was just like,
I remember that,
I don't
yeah.
want anything to do with it. My people are all loyal to me. I said, no, dude, we got all of your trainers for you. They're loyal to their instructors, and all the instructors want to come over here. And he was totally stubborn, spent money on an attorney, everything, and he wouldn't do it. And
Yeah, I remember that.
It didn't last very long.
So years.
So I've been training, fighting, having fun with it anyway. I like the training aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, but
He
yeah.
likes to throw hard. He's one of those dudes that's like me. He can never just spar lightly.
I could
If
see
you
that.
ever,
I haven't sparred
if you
Ryan.
ever accidentally hit him, he's gonna start throwing bombs.
No, not too many bombs.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's a
I
bomb thrower. That's
I-
good though. I relate to those guys. It's impossible not to. If you take a good shot, you gotta throw some heat back, right?
oh yeah, for sure. But I started Warrior Fuel due to a void that I saw in the supplement market, and so it seemed like everybody was going underground. They were going hardcore, extreme, tons of stimulants, and I saw that too many stimulants had an adverse side effect to true athletes like MMA, boxers, guys that need to be more focused, that didn't want to burn their adrenal glands out. So we created more of a focus pre-workout for endurance athletes that needed to have pinpoint focus and react, like fast reaction times. So that's where we started. We came out with our Warrior Fuel original, the athlete's formula is what we call it, and started selling that to fighters.
Well, tell me this: like, when you say those things, that probably doesn't mean a lot to most people. What would be different than a stimulant packed? I mean, most people think, oh yeah, I want the most stimulants possible. I mean, that's going to make me have the best workout if I just have a ton of stimulants. So why don't you want a ton of stimulants, and how do you have a product that's a pre-workout that's not full of stimulants?
So basically, you have to look at it as if you're getting it's just like getting a sugar rush. You go eat a bunch of sugar, you're gonna have you're gonna be sick, and you're gonna have a dump as well.
I do that every night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, your ice cream sessions.
With the dump included.
I
Yeah,
wish,
with the dump.
If it was ice cream, then it would be with the dump. But
Yeah.
no, since I avoid the ice cream, it's just the sugar dump.
So it's
You're
the
talking
same,
like a adrenaline dump.
Yeah,
Like
well, same thing with caffeine. So if you get a burst of caffeine, you're gonna get a lot of energy really fast, but you're gonna decelerate really fast, and you're gonna do what they call as a crash.
Yeah.
And so what that does is it wears out your adrenal glands, and people start getting lethargic, slower. Their reaction times are slower, and so when there's caffeine's good because what it does is it stimulates the nervous system. But if you have too much caffeine, it's overstimulated, you're going to be overtired afterwards.
How much caffeine is too much in a day?
Anything over in a given period of time, everybody's different. So everybody metabolizes stuff different. For me, I'm 240 pounds. 150 milligrams of caffeine is great. But you might have a guy that's 175 pounds and he'll take 300 and it doesn't phase him.
That's me.
So
my adrenals are burned out for sure.
Yeah, that's just how it is, and everybody's different. I don't
Does
think.
that mean when you say your adrenals are burned out? Like, because for me, I was like the original Bill Phillips ECA stack back in the day, and I was taking a mini thin and then a mini thin, a no dose, and an aspirin like 3 times before lunch.
ECA stack?
Exactly, the ECA stack. And literally, I can drink a 64-ounce Mountain Dew 5 minutes before I fall asleep. I'm at the point now where I don't even know if my body responds to caffeine. Is that possible? Is that what you're talking about when you're adrenal?
To a point. So you got to understand that you're like you have like little pods, like they're called receptor sites, and so those pods, when caffeine comes by and it attaches to them, they react and they absorb the caffeine. If you get overstimulation of those pods, they start wearing out and they stop binding to that caffeine. And so there's also different kinds of caffeine. Our pharmaceutical grade caffeine, we have capsulated caffeine that's time release. We have caffeine. There's like all kinds of different kinds of caffeine. So the thing is, if you're taking tons of caffeine over a period of time, you're not going to feel the effects.
I got you.
For sure, because your receptor sites are burned out.
Okay.
I think for me, it's about, I'm good at 2 rock stars a day, which is like 480 grams of caffeine. Over that, if I get a third, that's where I start like feeling like, okay.
So having your
like
receptor
hyped up.
sites burnt out, that's kind of like my sister who lives right next to a cattle ranch, and it smells like
She can't smell it,
crap,
right?
and she has no idea
Yeah.
that it stinks that bad because her nose has absorbed all the stink
Exactly,
already.
it's exactly the same
For
thing.
real?
Yeah, man.
That's unbelievable.
So you go into my office and everybody's like, I love this smell because we have flavors in
Yeah.
there. And super concentrated flavors,
Yeah.
but I don't smell a thing.
Yeah.
I don't smell anything when I walk in.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. But one of the things that people don't understand, or I guess it's a misconception, is you drink a Rockstar, you're not feeling the caffeine. So if you grab that
Taurine,
Rockstar,
yeah.
you're feeling the taurine, the other ingredients that are in there, the vitamin B6 and whatnot. So you're getting the caffeine to give you a little more energy, but the effects that you're feeling are the other ingredients. And so, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Onnit. You probably
Yeah,
familiar.
yeah.
So
John
Onnit
Rogan
had it
talks about
right.
that
Yeah,
all the time.
Onnit had it right. So they started creating brain stimulation products.
What ingredients are in on it that are brain stimulating?
So you have like neurotropics. So you have like mucinapurines. There's a array of different kinds. There's some that I like, some that I don't like. I like stuff that's not going to have any side effects.
Yeah.
And so, for instance, we use like one of our biggest ones is picotropin, mucinapurines. We use DMAE bitartrate, choline bitartrate. There's things that we use that over the last 10 years have had significant studies. Harvard, Oklahoma State, a couple major universities do studies on these. And those are the things that I like, is stuff that I can look back at science and say, okay, this stimulates the brain, and it's a proven fact. And what too many companies, what happens is a new ingredient comes out, it has no studies, and people jump on it. And then it gets banned because it killed somebody. Or it gets banned because, some dude had some weird attack from it.
I mean, I'm a huge caffeine and supplement fan in general.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it's hokey pokey or in your mind or whatever,
no.
but
Well,
I mean,
caffeine, that's about as real as it gets.
multiple times I've quit rock stars or caffeine in general, and the biggest, I don't feel like I don't get crazy headaches or whatever. I just feel kind of sad and slightly less motivated.
I feel
No,
sad.
Yeah, just like dang, those ingredients sure really help me.
They do,
I
Dude,
feel
no,
good.
I mean, I had a business partner in my mortgage company, and we were killing it, and it was the most successful business I ever had, and we both drank Mountain Dew all the time, and he kept trying to give it up because he thought it was against the word of wisdom, and so when he would try to give it up, he was so miserable to be around. I'm like, dude, until we retire, you are not allowed to give up Mountain Dew because I can't stand working with you. You're like a total a-hole when you don't just drink your Mountain Dew. I mean, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the caffeine, maybe it was the sugar, because he was like the full sugar Mountain Dew guy. So it was probably a sugar thing too.
That's brutal.
So let's talk about that a little bit, because I mean, a lot of people do, and like you hear studies all the time, like supplements don't do anything or they're placebo effect, whatever. Being in the industry, I mean, I think people that actually take supplements and know, I swear by supplements. I mean, I've taken your stuff. It's great. I love it. Most people in the fitness industry, why do you think there's such a stigma or a speculation of people that think supplements or these kind of things that aren't pharmaceuticals are kind of just hokey?
Because they are. About 90% of supplements, well, I'll say about 80% of supplements are crap.
That's a truth bomb right there.
What's the biggest bogus supplement? If you could tell,
Dude, I don't want to.
If you could tell, no, it's okay. Without selling out a specific brand, if you could say the one general supplement that is taken the most at pro shops, what's the most bogus supplement?
Testosterone boosters in general are fake.
Really?
Yeah. When I see the first way to find a supplement company that does not know what they're doing is when their first product or their second product is a testosterone booster.
Really?
So. And this is something that most people, no one knows unless you manufacture.
Yeah.
So we manufacture. I can go create the most badass testosterone booster out there, and to have it packaged, bottled, and encapsulated form will cost me $6. You spend $100 at GNC or any supplement shop. So the thing is I'm a big believer in it. If you don't know about ingredients,
wait a second. So you're saying it costs $6, but you charge $100?
They all charge $100.
I mean, I don't mind markups, but you're just saying it doesn't work.
No, they don't work because this is the thing. Like the biggest thing with testosterone boosters is there's only so many things legally that can affect your hormones, right? Mm-hmm. Anything that really affects them is banned by the FDA.
Yeah.
So
did the old ones like norandrosterone?
Oh yeah, those are like steroids.
What about trimethylplex, that kind of stuff, like the methylplex stacks, all those?
Those anything that I'm going to be honest, like anything that legitimately works is banned. It's a fact. Like when it comes to testosterone and hormones, like it's just how it is.
Yeah. So creatine
is awesome.
Yeah,
see, creatine people have,
but it doesn't mess with your testosterone. It's just a cellular.
Creatine is an amino acid that's found in red meat that allows your red blood cells to absorb more water.
Oh, okay.
Simple. It's great for recovery, great for your body.
It doesn't have anything to do with hormones.
Nothing.
Okay, so the last hormone replacement, or not hormone replacement, the last testosterone booster that really worked was like androstenedione or norandrostenedione or one of those.
Yeah, 1AD was probably the most effective over-the-counter pill that you could have taken, but it got banned years ago.
I took it, dude, and it definitely.
Why do they get banned? I mean, obviously they're too close to steroids.
This is what happens. So they take all the scientists back there. What they'll do is they'll take D-balls, which is a common steroid, oral steroid,
you mean
and
Dianabol?
yeah, and they'll take like a hydrogen molecule and they'll rearrange it so it's no longer D-ball.
Really?
Yeah, and then so that's the kind of stuff that happens. So years ago, or
they're just creating a new steroid that hasn't been banned yet.
Exactly.
I got
because legally, if it's changed barely, the FDA has to go through about an 8-month period to ban it. So DMAA, the 13-dimethyl.
Yeah.
It was like the stimulant just got banned.
Yeah.
So what they did is they took off exactly one hydrogen molecule, made it 30% less effective, and called it AMP. And now that's in a bunch of products out there that just got banned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So when they get banned, do they have to pull them off the shelf? Or
immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Even I mean, all the stock, everything.
Yeah.
And that's when you get these
the letters
these supplement shops start selling.
Who polices that or enforces that?
It
Is it enforceable?
is, but not. It depends on how big of a shop you are, how much revenue.
Yeah.
Like if you're really bumping
like bodybuilding.com.
Oh, they'd be toast in seconds.
Wow. Well, how come? I mean, you say, I mean, you talk about your one thing that does a certain purpose, but I was just looking at your website. You've got tons of different products. What's the difference in all your products? Why do you have such a variety of products?
So our whole main focus is creating products that athletes need. Mm-hmm. So like we don't create test boosters like that, like a test booster pill. We have a test booster in our men's pre-workout, but what that does is it's D-aspartic acid that increases your hormone levels for 4 hours. That's all it is. It's not like it's a test boosting pill that is going to make you jacked and huge. And so guys and girls can take it and increase their hormones for a 4-hour period, and that's great when training. So we have our athletes formula that has a bunch of brain stimulation in there. We have 150 milligrams of time-release caffeine, a little bit of vasodilators to get the blood flowing. And in all of our products for our pre-workouts, we have a base that has the brain stimulation because one of the things that people try to do is they try to go and use too much caffeine to get that stimulation, but you don't need it. You need a little bit of caffeine to start your nervous system, kind of like a little spark plug. But what you want is stuff that's going to be healthy for the brain, healthy for your nervous system. And so that's what we use. All of our stuff is based upon recovery and functionality. And so beta alanine's an ingredient that we won't go without. And a lot of people get that itchy feeling.
The red skin.
Yeah. No, it's not. You don't get red skin. That's from niacin. That's a misconception. Yeah.
Is that the stuff?
But it gives you the tingly.
Is that the stuff that's in your tanning lotion?
Yeah, niacin.
That stuff drives me nuts.
Yeah. So
you would know.
Yeah, he's never been tan in his life. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
But
got the English skin.
Speaking of that, those are the two ingredients we'll never put. Is yohimbe and niacin, because you get the goose, like the chills all the time, and then that red fleshy.
And niacin can mess with your test, can it?
Niacin just, to me, I hate it because you just you turn bright red and it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
What's
they say
yohimbe do?
Yohimbe
Speeds up your heart.
It does. It's a fat burner.
Yeah.
It will speed up your heart, but the thing is, it makes you your skin and everything more sensitive, and so it kind of I hate the feeling of it.
That's what's in a lot of fat burners too,
It's in
right?
all fat burners.
Yeah, I mean, I
a-
hate that feeling. I love supplements, but I hate fat burners
But
because
isn't that, because I can tell you right now, the original BCA stack worked, and do we have new versions where they use some natural version of ephedra and a natural version?
You mean the ECA stack?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So-
What did I say? BCA?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. What is it? It's the ephedra. Yeah, the ECA.
Yeah. So the ECA stack, in all honesty, there's nothing that is as good as ephedra. All reality, real ephedra.
And is that legal?
ephedra illegal.
It's illegal.
Oh, it is illegal?
Yeah.
Huh. Why
So-
is it illegal?
From heart attacks.
Just from kids abusing it pretty much
really?
in sports and stuff like that.
Huh.
So,
Wow.
but the thing is again, I'm not I believe in fat burners, but not all the hardcore crap that's out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a healthy way to do it
Yeah.
and create a fat burner, which we
Yeah.
might be having a fat burner come out here in the
May or
next
may not.
30 to 60 days.
Maybe. Yeah. So you have your pre-workout. You have BCAAs, which are delicious. What
Yeah,
else?
we're huge
What
on
are you-
flavoring.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What I said a little bit ago is I truly believe that if you don't have the supplement knowledge, the ingredient knowledge, how it reacts to the body, you have no place in the supplement industry. So what happens, and we see this all the time, it seems like every month there's a new supplement company coming out. And what it is some guys that, with good intentions, they hit the gym and they think, oh, I'm going to create a pre-workout. So they go to the local manufacturing facility and they say, hey, I want a pre-workout. The local manufacturing facility then says, okay, how do you want this pre-workout to be done? They go and they want to make a profit margin, so they buy the cheapest ingredients, formulate it for you, flavor it for you. You have no idea what's really in it and how those really react with the body, the ingredients that are in there, and then you go market it. So most supplement companies are marketing companies, in all honesty.
Yeah.
We manufacture everything, we formulate it, we flavor it, we package it, we ship it all from our facility. And so it's, I've been coming out with this fat burning pill for about 6 to 8 months. And so it's trial and trial and trial, which you
Really?
don't get when you're manufacturing with an outside source, And so
So you've been producing it, testing it, tweaking it, that kind of
forever,
stuff. Really?
yeah. I'll sit yesterday. I was flavoring a drink and for another project, and I'm just my desk is covered in powder. I'm just flavoring and flavoring and flavoring, and everybody's walking through my door. I'm like, try this, and that's just what we do. It's hundreds and hundreds of times until we get it to where it's good, and I think that's what sets our flavoring apart, because we care. It's our stuff. When you're manufacturing it, you don't really care as much, because you're like, dude, it's your product. Go sell it. When it's
And most people,
I
they just
got
care
you.
if it's tolerable. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It doesn't make me want to vomit when I drink it. But
no, it's true. The manufacturing companies, they just want to make the bottom dollar. They just want to make money.
Yeah.
And then the guys are just marketing it out there. So that's why I think that most supplements, I think a lot of them are crap.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are very similar. Because if
Yeah.
you get a manufacturing company and he has 15 people walk through the door saying on a pre-workout, he's going to say, okay, if I put all these ingredients together, I can buy in huge bulk, and
Yeah.
I'm going to save some money.
Yeah.
You know,
And there's a ton of, Utah is actually a huge manufacturing, supplement manufacturing area.
one
right?
of the biggest in the world. Yeah,
Right. And why is that? How did
because of the
that-
MLM companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all the multi-level marketing companies. Yeah.
So they built all these big factories to
Huge.
make
Like
stuff?
people don't have a clue how many there are.
Tons of
There's
them.
probably 30. There's, VMI, like most like Muscle Farm, BSN, Cellucor, all that stuff's done here.
Is it
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mhm.
And where is
So-
that? Like right up in Linden? And
All
PG?
over from Ogden down to Spanish Fork.
No.
I've been to some massive manufacturing facilities.
Huh.
It's crazy.
So what is it you think that, is different about your supplement, or about what makes a good supplement versus kind of a junk supplement, just the quality of the ingredients and the formulation, or what?
This is the thing, and I've been asked to formulate for some multi-level marketing companies, and what they want out of it is we just want an effect. We want an effect. We want them to feel like they took something and they felt something. And it's like, okay, you want them to feel it. So they want yohimbe, they want caffeine. They don't really want beneficiary properties in their ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like I said, if you're a marketing company, you just care about the label, the look, and being sexy. You don't really care about the ingredients. And that's where we're different. We didn't come across and say, okay, how can we make a ton of money? We said, okay, I'm taking this stuff.
Yeah.
My buddies that are fighting are taking this stuff. My buddies that are lifting are taking this stuff. So we want to create something that they'll want to take.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about if the label was good or bad. We weren't a design company.
Yeah.
One of my best friends down the street designed our label. So
Really?
it wasn't, we didn't have some crazy marketing company.
Yeah,
But
it works though. It's a very noticeable and unique logo.
yeah, so our name, most people don't even know this, but we got into fighting, and we got together with Berkman, the People's Warrior,
Yeah.
Warrior Fuel. That's kind of where it all came
Really?
from. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
I don't know if you guys know Marshall.
So do you pay
Yeah,
Josh
Napoleon?
Berkman a royalty every time you
No,
say
yeah, we shouldn't tell him this. Huh? So
He won't watch.
yeah, Marshall and I were at the gym just talking.
Yeah.
And he's like, and we were talking about the People's Warrior and what we could name it. And he's like, dude, you should name it Warrior Fuel.
Really?
So Marshall's actually the one that came up with the name.
Now, it's Warrior Fuel, and you do a ton of sponsorship of local fighters, which I really love because Mike and I both love MMA. We love supporting local fighters. In fact,
We sponsor a lot of the
we've
same people.
probably
Yeah.
only spent like money on fighters. We sponsor, fitness athletes and stuff, but the only money that's actually been spent usually is on MMA guys. But for sure, there's not near as big of a market for MMA people. So what percentage of people that buy your product are gym rats compared to people that use it to train for endurance? Because MMA is an endurance sport.
Yeah. So, the cool thing is we have one of the top UFC champs, Chad Mendez.
Mhm.
He takes our product. We have Jeremy Stevens taking our product.
Little heathen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cody Crowley, who spars
Crippler.
with Mayweather.
Yeah.
He sparred with Chris Algier. He just left Moscow sparring with their top boxer. And so, he takes our stuff. We have a lot of endurance athletes that take it, and we don't pay them anything. And I think that's where my pride comes in, is because it's like, we didn't have to pay you to say
To
you
say
like our
like it,
stuff. They love our stuff because of the effect they get, the quality of it, because there's passion behind it and care about it, instead of just being a marketing company.
Well, Mike and I, we deal with people that say, "Oh, dude, let me rep your stuff and let me do this, let me do that," and and there becomes a point where they don't bring anything to the table, and to give them free stuff, it costs us money because them wearing our stuff isn't gonna bring any type of return. So, I'm curious, like, what would you, if you had to guess, how much money in free product, money's worth in free product, do you give to your sponsored athletes every month?
So yeah, that's a good thing. Mike.
That's
and
what I
talked
originally
about.
wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
we've
sponsorships.
talked about this for a year.
It's
or
kind
two.
of funny because everybody.
So you have zero paid athletes.
No. I wish I had zero paid athletes. The thing is it's kind of like a facade, because when you're getting in the fitness industry and you see Steve Cook and all these other athletes out there, and they're like, dude, I want to be I want to be sponsored.
Yeah.
And like, you guys have no idea
Yeah.
what that is. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, this is what I think is super interesting. What we've always talked about is it's like this phenomenon or this culture that's been with like
Because it's
Instagram or social
They want to be
media
able
now,
to post it on their
where it's like literally every person thinks they're by the way, this is not to call out any person
One
specifically,
individual,
but I don't think, because you and I talk about it a lot, I don't think anybody has any idea how often we get hit up like daily for
Every day,
sponsorships.
yeah.
How many times a day would you say?
I get probably 4 to 5 emails a day.
How about you, Adam? Same?
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, on Instagram, and I'll get guys with like 90 followers.
Yeah, I mean, same thing.
Really?
This is kind of
You're gonna
like
wear my shirt? Sweet, man.
I feel bad that I can't even respond to everybody. You know what I mean?
you don't.
Just because, I used to like take time to try to, oh, thanks for your interest, and I really do genuinely appreciate it. But I mean, it gets to a point where there's so many people asking through so many different formats that it's like it becomes a level of it's impossible to even respond to that many requests. So I mean, what do you think? Is it that people, this like idea or this mentality of this kind of self-aggrandizement that all of a sudden people feel like they're worth or should be worth? Do you think they actually think that they're worth that, or is it just that they want a perception of like, I'm a sponsored athlete?
I think it's the perception. Like everybody, you look at some Instagram and it's like they're sponsored by like 45 different companies, and you're just like, I'm going to be one of those 45, you know, so I'm going to get a lot of love. But the thing I think that the biggest misconception out there with the sponsored athletes is what Adam was saying. What do they bring to the table? It's like they don't understand. So I have athletes coast to coast, and we're not. And I'm talking. This is just my fitness athletes. If I give them 2 BCAs, a glutamine, and a pre-workout a month, I'm spending $50,000.
Yeah, that's what people.
That's $50,000.
People have no idea. It's like, hey, it only costs you
Yeah.
X amount of dollars or whatever to give me this, whatever they think our cost is on apparel or supplements or whatever. They think you probably make your bottles of stuff for $3.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand is opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
Or I mean, I give someone a shirt and a hat, and that's worth retail to me because I know I'm going to sell that, whether it's today or tomorrow or a year from now. That's a future dollar that we're selling. And I know the same thing applies to you.
Yeah.
You know,
we're constantly out of product. We can't keep product on the shelf. And so, having said that, like exactly what you said is right. Like, so in a year period, we'll spend $50,000 on just product. That doesn't include shipping. That doesn't include swag. That doesn't include anything else.
Yeah.
That doesn't include our travel or our shows or, it's in everything that goes along with it. We're into our athletes. We're 100 G's, and that's not paying them. That's giving them free stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could go on and on about this delusions of grandeur that so many people have of why. I mean, like Adam said, I have people email me, hey, bro, if you send me some apparel, I'll wear it at my gym in Texas. And I'm like, what do you mean?
What's funny
like,
is
what?
I'm always like, well, dude, we have guys that have, you have 180 followers, and you're saying you'll totally rep my shirt at your gym. There's people with 3,000-4,000 followers that buy my shirt. You think you're going to wear your shirt more than the dude who actually paid $20 for it? I don't understand where people get the idea that because they're going to wear a shirt that all of a sudden everybody's going to wear it. I mean, if only 180 people have, and I don't mean that that's not cool. You have 180 friends or whatever it is, but, obviously, you're not someone that everybody wants to know what the heck's going on with them, and they're not going to be like, man, because he wears it, it's cool.
Yeah.
Or because he takes Warrior Fuel. I mean, look at that dude. So how do you, when yours is a lot performance based, and unless they're wearing swag, they can't even tell that someone's taking Warrior Fuel. So your sponsored athletes really need to make an effort to say that they're taking it or whatever it is. How do you go about setting parameters for someone that you're gonna hook up with
So
free?
I have a kind of a unique way of going about the athletes. So I get hit up all the time from IFBB pros to professional athletes like football players and stuff. So I send them product, and then a lot of them are shocked by that because they're like, dude, I want to get involved. I like the way your brand's going. I said, have you taken our stuff? No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, take this, and if you like it, call me.
Yeah.
If you don't call me.
Yeah.
And so that's where I start because I'll never have an athlete, and I'll be honest, like I had athletes from other companies and even local companies that are taking our stuff.
Really?
I've seen them with it at the gym.
Really?
Their friends are talking about it. Yeah. And so with that, if they don't like it, they're not going to stand behind it.
Yeah.
I don't need them. Like I don't want anybody faking it.
I feel the same way, you know. I mean, and this is kind of a secret to everybody that has hit up Adam and I or wants to be sponsored by Riven. I think we've been pretty transparent. Same with you, Ryan, is we have spent so much more money on other people than ourselves. Like all we do is reinvest the money to grow the brand, to grow the exposure, to sponsor and pay other people, to pay for a pair of who we do judge to be worth it. You know, that I think that every person that we work with has been somebody who's shown us the value initially and been willing to kind of on their own, like show us what they're worth. You know what I mean? Or make the effort to first provide some value. And this is, I think, really the key of sponsorship, whether it be for one of our companies or Nike, is how can you add value first? You know, it's kind of like, that's how you get the leverage. That's how somebody, you know, we might see somebody who's out in the community who's wearing Riven to the gym every day, who's posting stuff on their own, who genuinely has found the brand and likes it. And then from that point, we're like, hey, man, I mean, look what a good job this guy's doing on his own, or look what effect this guy has. You know, he's buying ours. He's having his friends and family actually come in on his own, and then it's like, hey, that's a great ambassador for our brand. Are people who provide that leverage, that value first. That's really, I think, the key to I guess opening the door for companies.
And how many
like
emails do you get where they're like, "This is what I can add"? None of it.
None.
It's like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You know.
When Ryan, I think like what you're talking about right there, I think that's something that everybody in life, if you really want to be successful in life in general, I've found that in order for you to have somebody be excited to be with you and to work with you, you need to show them first, hey, here's what I'm willing to provide. Like, for example, when I used to own sales of companies and I had, marketing companies or whatever type of company it was, if a guy came to me and wanted a salary, I knew that guy's not for me.
Yeah.
If he wanted to say, hey, this is what I can do, this is what I'm going to do in sales, how much can you pay me per sale? I mean, so he's already telling me he wants, and like for me, for example, I would never do something where I was going to make the same amount of money no matter what I did. I don't understand salaries. Like, to me, it has to be incentive driven or I can't do it. Mm-hmm. And so when in life, because obviously there's a lot of jobs out there that are salaries. Teachers and coaches and some of these
most
things,
jobs.
most jobs are salaries. But when it comes to life and when you want something, I think it's really important that you go out there saying, hey, let me show you what I bring to the table. Let me show you what I provide and the value that I add to you, and you can see why you want to work with me and why we should work together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the biggest thing is you got to look at it with branding. Okay, you have your huge brands and with clothing, supplements, whatever it is, and they get they're like IG famous people, right? Mm-hmm. They get those people that they could care if they're whoring around or doing drugs or whatever. They just have 600,000 followers.
Yeah.
That's all that they want.
Yeah.
They want that reach. And with my company in our, let's say we're in the same boat. With Riven and Warrior Fuel we're small. We're building a solid foundation mm-hmm. that we want people that are wearing our brand. If someone comes in contact with them, we want it to be a good experience. Yeah. We want them to take a good experience from that. And so that's the kind of athletes I look for. We've had athletes like that have had 200 followers that now have 12,000 followers that we've built them. We've had athletes go from never competing to getting their IFBB Pro card.
Same with us, yeah.
Yeah, and so it to a point it does. We want to reach, but I have 3 levels of athletes or 3 different kinds of athletes. One, those that I first see potential in. Do I see them being loyal mm-hmm. and where I can help them get to where they want to be and they can help build my brand. 2, I have an athlete that already has a big reach but isn't entitled. They have a good heart and good intentions. And so most of the athletes, you get to the point where they're like 20,000 plus followers, they feel like they're entitled to the world. Mm-hmm. I stay away from those guys. I get hit up by them all the time. And I'll get like someone that will email me and this is what I want from you. I'm like, I've never even taken our product. I don't even know who you are. and you're setting some parameters.
This
already.
is one thing, yeah, and I don't think people realize it's almost kind of like a dime a dozen with Instagram and Facebook these days. Is it's like, cool, you're a fitness person that has 20,000 followers, cool, And at first we were kind of lured by that siren song of, look at this amount of followers, we'll give you guys this, we'll pay you this, here's your code. And what we found was they couldn't sell anything. They didn't move product, and it was and somebody more who has, this is kind of counterproductive what we were saying. Someone has 200 followers that actually loves our brand, and they know that they're a legitimate person. Their friends and family are like, hey,
those
cool.
People, those are the people that didn't say, hey, what are you going to do for me? They were people that just liked it, and they're talking to their buddies. They're just not necessarily Insta famous. And that's the one thing that's interesting about Instagram is there's so many people with 20,000 plus followers at the bottom, and they're maybe getting 150 likes, and they got 20,000 followers.
So let's talk about this real quick. I'm going to show you guys this. I'm not going to show the camera because I don't want this name to be blotted out.
Yeah.
So you look at this. So you look at these are this guy has 10,000 followers. He got them like overnight. Okay?
Oh yeah, they're all fake followers.
Yeah, they're all fake followers.
Bot followers.
Look at this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how his likes are. If you go to his likes, okay,
Yeah, somebody that has. Yep.
1,000 likes, and it's like there's no one that. And look at none of them have pages. You know what I mean?
So you can buy likes.
Yeah.
You can buy likes, followers, everything.
Dude,
And so
there's
to me,
bots
that's
that-
like the phoniest thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
So then you have if you want followers, you have all these fools out there that are buying followers and likes they have 10,000 likes on a dumb picture.
Yeah.
And it's just like well in all honesty,
No,
like,
it's true. Yeah,
10,000 people aren't going to like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's true though.
No, you're right.
It's just to me, I'm
You
like,
see a guy that's totally out of shape, and for some reason 1,100 people like that picture.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's probably 50 people in my feed in the last hour that look better than that dude.
The other
know?
thing is you watch that person for a period of time and they run out of money,
Yeah.
and so it went from 10,000 to like 43.
Yeah, and the other thing is that, and Adam and I were talking about this before the show today, is Instagram has kind of matured as a platform and as a community right now, and people are following enough people that I think all of us are seeing less likes per picture and kind of like engagement going down a little bit, just because so many people are following so many different things and they're so used to it, and maybe we're not in the habit as much of like liking, oh, that's a cool picture, and I'm seeing Live Fit, all these people that we used to have really good engagement is just kind of slipping a little bit too. So we still all have really good engagement, so it's kind of that real human beings are seeing and liking and interacting with your content, and we pay attention to that kind of stuff. We know when someone hits us up, hey, I've got 10,000 followers. Well, cool. Well, you get 80 likes per picture. That's a way disproportionate amount to actual human beings that care what you're doing.
Yeah, and the other thing is I care. I only care about engagement. So on our website, if someone orders a pre-workout or a BCA, that we get like 78% of people come and reorder, which is huge for the supplement industry.
Yeah.
So we're growing slow, which I'm fine with, but we're growing solid. And so I constantly see our revenue off our website increase every single month and we're adding shops all over the nation. And so with that being said, I don't care if I had 10,000 followers or if I have 2,000 followers. I just care about the people that engage and that are true followers of the brand.
Yeah, I mean, the end result is what? Is sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for all these people who hit us up who've never even purchased something, how are you going to be able to sell something when you have such a broke mindset that you've not even judged it to be worth your own time and money, but yet you want to be sponsored by that person?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. I mean, I can sell anything as long as I believe in it. But if I have a broke mindset about it, if I believe it's a piece of junk or I have no faith in the product, I can't sell it to save my life. So, I think that as long as people are first willing to provide value and have a heavy dose of self-awareness to where they don't have some sort of disproportionate expectations. And I think we all have athletes and people that we work with who it's a reciprocal relationship. We're helping promote them. We're helping promote their business and their things that they're doing on the side. We're helping them grow their followings. We're providing them with apparel because, they're worth it, and all of the people that we work with currently are like that. And there's a lot of people that, you can kind of look and see the people that we work with and the people that you work with. And I think if anybody out there wants to get sponsored by us or another company or anybody, that's really who you need to kind of take a look at what
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah, and another thing is I can't tell you how many DMs and emails and text messages I have where people are like, I want us to get sponsored, we're going to sponsor. I'm like, dude, hold tight, we can only, add so many athletes at a time. And then they're getting sponsored by the next supplement company.
Yep.
Then the next supplement company, and then the next clothing company. And it's like, dude, I'm not going to sponsor someone that...
Not be me too. Yep.
Exactly. So if you're whoring yourself out, getting sponsored by anybody and everybody, you don't belong with us, And so I think that's the biggest thing is I get it where people are like, people want to be want to be able to say they're sponsored, but I think integrity is more important than that. If you're going to go and get sponsored by a supplement company, but yet take another supplement company's supplements, come on.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
The one thing that I've noticed that you do really well is there's two things that stand out to me that you do differently than most of the other supplement companies that I've seen. Is number one, you have the same 5 or 6 faces and you promote them. And so, whether they're trying to build their own personal brand or not, I see them and they are very loyal to Warrior Fuel, and everything they talk about is Warrior Fuel. And you use them a ton in your posts. And so it is a really tight-knit group that I see. It really is a team environment with you. And the other thing that I think is cool is, and I've actually watched a lot of them, just because, I do like that your company is run by gym rats and that you guys are all about what you're selling, and because that's what you do. And the fact that you post those, I don't know if you put them on YouTube, but I know they're on your website, but your videos, your instructional videos, obviously you can tell by looking at you and your athletes that you guys
are
live
what you
in
sell.
the gym. And so for sure, that's a real value add to be able to go to your website and see, like I just barely got through watching your delt workout, and because my delts suck. I cannot figure out how to grow my delts.
We just filmed a sick back workout at the City Creek gym last night.
Really?
Yeah, my buddy owns that gym, him and his wife, and we went up there.
Is that where you do most of your?
No, I go everywhere. Boston
Really?
won't let us film in there anymore,
They
so
won't?
we have to hit any gym we can.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
The City Creek gym's super dope, so we go up there. They let us come in and
Yeah,
film.
yeah. That like kind of, we're coming out of time, but that leads me to my last piece, real quick here, is what you're just talking about is content. You know what I mean? That's really key. Whether it's us, when you're running Fresco, or even this podcast, or what you're doing, if you're putting out content, people that want to get sponsored, and you're putting some sort of effort, that's noticeable. That's what people like. That's what people. Instagram's cultivated this community of snobs where people recognize what a good photo is. They recognize good content or a thoughtful post, and that they'll reward it. And those are the people who have learned to do that, who have value. What you're doing right now, a delt workout. Adam's just saying right here, that looks cool. I'm going to do that at the gym. I'm trying to get my delts up. Hopefully someone finds value of this podcast. I think content, along with, recognizing that it's adding value first, is the key to the whole sponsorship game.
Totally, I agree. And that's the thing is, when you sponsor an athlete and all of a sudden you see him doing the exact same pose in the exact same bathroom time and time again with a different shirt, you're like, bro, And so I have amazing athletes, and so do you guys that do different things.
The stall, right?
Yeah,
At least
make sure the toilet's flushed.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. It's taking some time to give your followers something that they can take away from it.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Dude, we're out of time,
real quick, I just want to say, I totally respect the fact that, dude, you are a hustler. You're always in some new location, some booth set up somewhere. You're a grinder. I really respect it, dude. Thanks for coming
Thanks,
on.
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have to have a part 2. I don't think we really even got to talk about the full gamut of what we wanted to talk
Yeah,
about,
hey,
but
man.
we're
I'm
always
down.
setting up
Anytime.
the table for future appearances, right?
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Thanks. That's episode 11. Let us know what you think.
All right, bud. Hey, that was good, man.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It goes by fast, huh?
I know it does. Yeah.